Hi, welcome. I'm Dr. Hareen Kalyanji, owner and pharmacist of the Chemist Pharmacy down in Sugar Land, Texas. I wanted to put together a weight loss counseling video so I can reach more of our patients and go over some of the common counseling tips from our pharmacist staff. Now, if this is your first time starting any type of weight loss product or regimen, there's a couple of important things to keep in mind. One, pretty much all of these products are going to be more of training wheels. The real success is a lifestyle change that you implement into your everyday life. You know, the goal here is longevity. We want to work towards anti-aging, building more muscle, having a sustainable body and physique. Now, for example, the most common are these new age GLP-1 products. They do a great job getting people through that initial barrier, and most patients lose about 15 to 20% body weight. The key word there is body weight. We don't want to always just lose weight. We want to work on body recomposition. Yes, we want to reduce the layer of fat we may have if we had a dangerous BMI or we want to get an overall healthier physique, but that's going to come with a lot of other components. So that's what I want to speak about today. So to start off, I want to speak about how the GLP-1 products work in the body and what to expect. Now, overall, a lot of times people ask me, what's the difference between semaglutide and tirzepatide? Well, the difference between the two is somewhat similar to Advil and Aleve. They're in the same category of medication. They both work similarly, but they do have their own differences. So a GLP-1 agonist slows down the gastric emptying of the stomach, which means that food moves slower through the stomach, which then will trigger to your brain that you're satiated, you're not hungry anymore. So most commonly, patients are going to expect or experience a lower appetite or more of an appetite control where they're just not as hungry as much. So that's going to reflect into either smaller meal portions or less frequent meals. Now overall, when you couple that day after day, week after week, you're consuming less calories. So overall, your body weight is reducing. Additional actions of these GLP-1s is to also optimize your blood sugar. So when you do have a carb-filled meal, insulin kicks in, and when you're in a fasted mode, insulin goes away. And that is important because a lot of times our bodies are lacking that insulin sensitivity. And then the third action these products are having is reducing our cravings. Whether that's a craving for sugar, we've even seen effects on alcohol consumption. Overall, that tendency of carb intake or anything that we feel that we're almost craving on a daily basis starts to subside. Now, how to effectively use them? This is a once-a-week injection. It's going to curb your appetite and everything and ideally provide training wheels, right? So it's going to make it easier to implement lifestyle changes over a period of time. Most commonly, we're seeing patients on a 3-month course. Typically, their doses is titrating month over month. Now, during this time, we're not expecting you to go to the gym every day, completely change your diet, change your whole routine, quit your job, move to Nebraska. We don't need to do all that. We're going to make small changes that are sustainable. So after you're done with this treatment, regardless if you come off this medication or go to a maintenance program, your lifestyle is what's sustaining your new body type, your new weight, and your physique and health ongoing. So what are some easy steps and what should you be doing or not doing while you're on this medication? Now, this is mostly my opinion and what we've seen work in our patient population. What we've seen in a common patient is that you're in a typical like breakfast, lunch, dinner, most of the times high carb processed food, and that's like our American diet. What I would recommend moving towards is once the medication is stable and you have appetite control, perhaps moving towards an intermittent fasting schedule where, for example, you're just skipping breakfast. When you get hungry around lunchtime, that's your first meal, and then dinner and your last meal is about 8 hours after. Now your body is going through a 16-hour fast from dinner to lunch again. This will keep your blood sugar spikes at bay. That means insulin is at bay. Insulin is that hormone that's going to be putting sugar into your body. Now that insulin is kind of on a vacation for 16 hours, your body is able to metabolize energy from your energy stores. So a lot of times we're reversing that weight gain just through intermittent fasting. The medication also helps kind of expedite this process and make everything more efficient, but intermittent fasting would be my number one recommendation. Now, the most important factor when it comes to weight gain or weight loss is your intake of food. Calories is the mathematical science behind this, but more importantly, it's the food composition itself. So my recommendation would be to focus more on whole foods. Whole foods are going to be the common things that come straight from the earth, from an animal source, that you're mostly going to find on the outskirts of a grocery store. Anything that goes through any refinement or processing is going to be more of the processed foods that I'm recommending to avoid and stay away from. So the easiest example is I have small children. Instead of giving them fruit snacks, I just give them fruit. That's one simple swap. And you're gonna find swaps like this throughout your normal intake. A lot of times I've seen patients move away from like the full tortillas, corn or flour, to the carb balanced tortillas. So now you have less carb in your diet. Sometimes they're high protein. So small changes like that. Another quick example, I drink my coffee black. My wife has to have something in it. So she started to put half of a core power. So now she has a protein coffee every morning. Small swaps like this is going to really make it easier to adapt to a healthier lifestyle, focusing more on a protein dense diet. That's probably the most important dietary recommendation is whole foods and protein. So as we lose weight, we definitely want to maintain and possibly grow our muscles simultaneously. The last thing we want to do is we shrivel down and we're just meat and bones. What we want to do is tone down and also increase our muscle mass. Muscle is important for several reasons, right? When it relates to weight loss, think of it as me sitting here, and I sit here all day. My basal metabolic rate, or how many calories I spend per day, may be about 1,300, just for my body to exist and function. Now, myself, with maybe 20 pounds more muscle, I'll be exerting about 1,500 calories just existing every day. So that's kind of the long-term investment in your body. The more muscle you have, the more energy you spend just existing. So now it makes it a lot easier to maintain your body weight. If you're consuming 2,000 calories a day, well, if your body needs 1,600 just to exist, and you go work out a few times here and there, your body weight is going to stay pretty much the same in maintenance mode. Now, if you have a larger deficit, if you have excess calories, that's what leads to weight gain if your body doesn't efficiently metabolize your intake of food. So when it comes to weight loss as a whole, I always recommend to look at all aspects of your lifestyle, from how much sleep you're getting every night, how much water you're intaking, what types of foods are you eating, stress management, what kind of job do you have, what does your lifestyle look like, what habits or hobbies, what all things affect your life, because these are all could be factors in weight. Whether you're holding on to too much stress due to your job or too much alcohol intake on the weekend, all these little factors add up. Inadequate sleep can drastically change your insulin and glucose levels throughout the day. Overprocessed foods can really mess up your gut biome. All these things are connected, and that's really what encompasses wellness as a whole. You know, in my opinion, wellness is a sense of balance in your life, whether it's mental balance, spiritual balance, physical balance, and that's where the pharmacy and our products and services come in, is to help you promote a healthier, balanced, happier lifestyle that can sustain longevity and ideally anti-aging. So that's where I would encourage you to look within to see if you are serious about this weight loss journey, what steps have you already taken? Have you focused on the basics, changing your food composition to make sure you're eating more healthier, protein-dense whole foods? That's one recommendation. Are you getting adequate sleep and have proper sleep hygiene? You'd be surprised how much falling asleep scrolling on your phone affects your sleep quality versus having a proper nighttime routine. Having adequate water hydrates and energizes your body to function the way your body's supposed to. Stress management. Whether it's a personal, work, or just body stress? And, have you gone through a recent injury or something? So be patient with your body and know that there are several factors that can affect it. One other one that may need additional lab testing could be hormone imbalance. That could be a barrier to weight loss as well. So please don't get discouraged if a certain medication or product or service that you're trying through any provider doesn't yield you immediate results. Know that ultimately it's an accumulation of your life choices that are going to affect you long term. So be patient with yourself and be consistent. A small mistake here or there is not going to derail your overall journey. If you need any additional resources, have questions, please reach out to myself or our team members here at the Chemist Pharmacy. You can stop by our Sugar Land location, you can give us a phone call, or reach us through email or our website. I wish you all the best and good luck on your weight loss journey.